What's up, YouTube? It's officially release day for Avatar on Arena. That means we are starting our Bronze to Mythic run on our free-to-play account of all Avatar, all draft. We hope to hit it by December 31st after the season reset. I explain everything about what we're setting out to do and how the numbers work out in my episode 0 for this series. So if you haven't got a chance to check it out, please do. As you can see, we have 3 new quests. I got the packs from the start of the new set, and we're just going to jump right into the arena and get our first draft going. All right, our first draft, we have Firebending Student as our rare. I think this rare is pretty good, nothing crazy. Production's pretty good. Fatal Fisher is okay. I think Combustion Technique is very strong, but if I'm taking a red card, I think I gotta take Firebending Student. Sold Out's good. Yeah, I'm going to take Firebending Student here. Thing is, you don't need a lot for this card to just be amazing. So, a lot of ways we can synergize with it. So we're going to take it. Shame it's not an ally, but we'll take our rare to start. Funny enough, I do actually think red is potentially the single weakest color in the cube. So we will see. I do like Iroh. I do like Ozai's Cruelty a lot. Cunning Maneuver goes great with Firebending Student, but I think that's a little aggressive. And the one for any lessons land that enters untapped is pretty good, but not crazy. I think Iroh was very strong in my pre-releases. If there was a red removal spell, I think I'd take it here. I don't love taking a second color right away. And Iroh keeps us in red. Goes well with Firebending Student with more Firebending. Also a 4-power creature, super relevant for the red-green deck. Twin Blades is crazy. I have multiple games won and lost in the pre-release with this card, so I take it. Glider Staff is also absolutely absurd. When it enters an airbend any creature, and then it gives +1/+1 flying. The Submersible's fine. It's essentially a 3-mana 3/3 that bounces an on-land permanent. I'm going to take Twin Blades, stay red. I think Glider Staff is very impressive, though, but I don't think it's enough better than Twin Blades, if it even is, to justify taking it over staying red. Rockolanch, I had in one of my pre-releases. It was fine. It was just kind of okay. Abandoned Attachments as an instant speed, discard and draw 2. Generally, cards like this are pretty good. Goes great with Firebending because you have the mana for them. I think it's better than Jet's Brainwashing. I was not impressed with this card. 1 mana Make a Clue is fine, I guess, but doesn't really do a lot. I think Rock Avalanche has the highest potential. It looks like we're mainly red. We could be even like basically mono red. And Abandoned Attachments is great. That's Mai. Mai is pretty crazy, I will say. I'm a little surprised to see it 5th pick here, but this pack's actually very strong. There's Toph. This is the uncommon you would guaranteed get if you took the green pre-release kit. Very strong in the lands deck. It's essentially a 3-mana 2/3 that makes a 2/3, or it makes a 2/2. There's also a Swamp Cycle here, but I'm going to stay red. Red Prowess. Maya is just really tough. The Exhaust is instant speed, so you can use Firebending to do it, but also you can just not do it and hold on to it as a, kind of blowout. Azula Always Lies was a pretty big blowout in a lot of games, but I think Bumi's Bash is just great. Deal damage equal to the number of lands you control a target creature. They've printed this card at 4 mana sorcery in a bunch of sets before. It's usually an overperformer. On turn 4, it almost always kills whatever you need to kill. And then on all later turns, it becomes essentially an unconditional removal spell. And then destroy target land creature in this format is super relevant because they can get an earthbending thing pretty big because they can keep stacking on it. So it's kind of the only way you wouldn't be able to unconditionally kill something, and Bumi's Bash deals with it anyway. We still haven't really taken a second color. Every card we have here is red. Sparring Dummy doesn't really do anything for us. Indoctrination's fine. I'm taking Cycle of Renewal. I really like Soka's Haiku, and it's a pretty good, like, with firebending and Uncle Iroh making it cost one less. Cycle of Renewal is just crazy, though. It's Harrow in a set that, doesn't really care about getting the non-basics. Harrow, tackle land, get 2 lands. Instant speed, it's a lesson, so Iroh makes it cheaper, goes great with firebending, ramps you, makes it so that you can cast all your spells, makes me want to be red-green for sure. And now we're getting the green Cycler. Jody is pretty good. Pretty good. Um, I'm going to take the green Cycler. There's also the blue-red uncommon. This card, I think, is a total overperformer. When it dies, if there's a lesson in your graveyard, you draw a card. It's an X3 with flying and ward 1. Kind of just does it all, but I think green-red is going to be the place where I want to be. Yeah, we're getting a second of the Cyclers. I do like the Cadets. Firebending 2, if you have a lesson in your graveyard, we're going to have a lot of lessons ideally, but these land cyclers are super important. You often get to the late game. I personally think specifically the green one is very good with the reach because of how many flyers there are that are evasive. Not really impressed with any of these cards. I don't like the shrines when I'm doing red. I want to be more aggressive. Ozai's Cruelty could be something. There's a lot of red-black cards if we open I want to splash anyway. And Ozai's Cruelty is just great. It's Mind Rot, which, discard 2 is pretty good in most limited formats and just does 2 already. Very aggressive Mind Rot. It's also a lesson, so it costs like 1 less off of Iroh. Triggers are if you have a lesson. Perfectly fine with casting it pre-combat. Now, Pillar Launch, I'm not excited by. And Parrot, I think, is fine. What I'm actually going to do is take the red-blue land here. There's a lot of blue cards in this red-blue kind of deck that maybe we would splash for. Red-blue enables that. I don't think Bender's Water Skin is good enough in that kind of style. It is decent with instants, but I will take a Jets Brainwashing 12th pick here. We might play it, we might not. Could be filler. Makes a clue, that the firebending's pretty good at getting. I think this card is awful. Flexible Waterbender. It's a 4-mana 2/5 Vigilance that can Waterbend 3. Oh, free dual land. We'll keep that in mind. Hey, that's the Earth King and Azula. Wow, we have a choice. All right, so we're definitely taking one of these two cards. So let's break it down. Earth King's a 4-mana 2/2 that makes a 4/4. So it's a 4-mana 6/6 essentially. And whenever one or more creatures you control of power 4 or greater attack, which it makes, you search for that many basic land cards and put them in the battlefield tapped. The reason that's crazy is if you already have a creature of power 4 or greater, the Earth King just triggers immediately. Now Azula is a 4-mana 4/4 firebending 2, and whenever you cast a spell while it's attacking, you copy it. That is insane, and we already have a whole bunch of stuff that helps us with that. The problem is it's blue and black, and really we're red-green right now, and the Earth King is just so good already. I love the idea of just staying red-green essentially, and not really needing to worry about finding the mana to be able to do everything we want. Unlucky Cabbage Merchant is a funny card. Essentially, when it enters, you make a food, and then when you sack that food, you search for a land and put him on the bottom. So every time you get a cabbage, he goes away and refreshes. It's also a 2-mana 2/2, which is pretty good, and you can sack the clue at instant speed to shuffle him away so you could like block and whatever. But I'm taking Rocky Rebuke. It's a removal spell, it's just a bite. If you aren't familiar with the terminology, a fight is when two creatures deal damage to each other. A bite is when your creature just does its damage to another. Bites are very strong and limited. Instant speed bites are very strong and limited, and this kind of does it all. So we're going to take that, and I think we are confidently red-green at this point. It's really hard to imagine there's much we would open that would pull us out of that. I don't like sorcery lessons as much, but this one's crazy. So it's a 2-mana deal 4 to target creature, but it can also be a 2-mana deal 1 to each creature, and that is insane. True Ancestry was a total overperformer in my pre-release, returning a permanent and creating a clue. I, however, was not in red green. I was in black green, which had a lot more of like the sacrificey stuff. I think Iroh's demonstration is just too good to take over it. Also, this Earth Rumble Wrestlers, I really hope wheels. This card's insane. It's a 4-mana, essentially 4/4 with Reach and Trample. Right? It has some stipulations to being that, but pretty consistently in the lands deck, it is. But Iroh's demonstration is definitely what we're taking here. And now we have Zhong Zhong. Zhong Zhong is nuts. 3 mana, 2/3 firebending 1, awesome. And then exhaust, put a 1/1 counter on him and double the next lesson you cast this turn. So in terms of lessons, we already have Iroh's Demonstration, Abandoned Attachments, Cycle of Renewal. Like we're already picking up lessons. The Jasmine Tea Shop making a 1/1 is pretty good, but it's not really the speed we want for our deck, and this is just too synergistic to pass, so I'm gonna take it. We're not the ally deck. Allies at Last is another instant speed bite spell. It's not a lesson, which is super relevant, but the lesson I would take here is like Origin of Metal Bending, which is fine. Destroy target artifact and enchantment, protect a creature. But Allies at Last is a bite spell that costs less and lets you use 2 creatures to basically trade up. So if I have like a 2/1 and a 2/2 and they have a 4/4, I get to kill it. Wow. Exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land. If it costs less than the amount of mana, or no, if it costs less than the number of mountains, you get to cast it for free. If you don't, you put it in your hand and it has flashback. Earth Kingdom General, though, is just awesome. It's a 4 mana 4/4, but every time you put 1/1 counters on a creature, you gain that much life once per turn. I think that's better than Solstice here. I need some Earth Bending and 4 power creatures. Another Rocky Rebuke, pick 7. I'm going to take that over Bumi's Bash. I think it's earlier interaction, instant speed interaction. Seismic Sense is crazy. So there's a card, I believe it's called Adventurous Impulse, that's printed in a lot of sets. That's 1 mana, look at the top 3 and reveal a creature or land. This is the same card, except for it's a lesson, and instead of looking at the top 3, you look at X, where X is the number of lands you control. So on turn 3, it's the same card, but it's a lesson. On turn 1 and 2, it's worse, but every turn after that, it's substantially better. Ooh, this is a tough pick. I'm going to take Cycle of Renewal over Mongoose Lizard. It's another lesson to go with our lesson synergies. It's an instant to go with our firebending. I like it better than putting a creature in the graveyard. I do like Mongoose Lizard. I think it's very strong, but I'm going to take the other one instead. No cards for us here. 3 mana 3/1 when it dies. Earthbend 2 goes really well with the Rocky Rebukes. And then, of course, Earthbend 2 is good with our Earthbending things. Yeah, I could take the dual land here in case we open like a Teamer card. The Teamer card that we care about is Iroh. He makes all your lessons be able to be cast from the graveyard. I'm not taking Sparring Dummy, so I'll take another black-green land, I guess, in case we open up a crazy black card. Rumble Arena is great. I think it's way better than the Archers. Although the Archers aren't bad, but having a land that we want to animate is awesome. So it enters, it scries 1, and then... Oh, we got the Agents. Okay, I didn't think that would wheel. I didn't even read it the first time because there was so much going on, but this card is probably worth splashing for. I'll read it in a moment once we see our pick here. I mean, this is an easy pick. We're taking the last Agni Kai. Target creature you control fights, and then if you overkill, you add that much red, and until end of turn, whole turn, you don't lose red mana, which means it works really well if you're firebending, because you firebend in combat and then you lose it, so you can use it to cast a really big thing on your second main phase. So since we're taking the last Agni Kai here, I'm going to read Daily Agents. So it's a 5 mana 3/4, but Earthbends 1s, Earthbends 1s. So you can make 2 1/1s or make a 2/2 or put counters how you want on your already existing land creatures. And then when it attacks, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with 1/1 counters on them. So if you make a 1/1, make a 1/1, and then this untaps and you attack with it, it drains for 2, which is just incredible. Aang's Iceberg is very strong. War Balloon's not bad. It's a 3 mana 4/3 flying with crew 3, and then essentially for 3 mana you can make it an artifact creature. But you can split that mana up, which is very nice. Is it better than Fire Nation Cadets? I don't think it is. It might be. 5 mana 4/3 flyer. It kind of just dies to everything. Could take the green ramp spell. I think this card was super impressive. 2 mana 2/1 taps for a green, and if you have a creature of power 4 or greater. Whoa, my goodness. Third pick, Boomy. We're doing it. So Boomy is one of the bombs in the format. I would say easily one of the top 5 strongest cards in the entire set for limited. He's a 5 mana 5/4 trample, already great. Enters Earthbend 4. So he's a 5 mana 5/4 that makes a 4/4. And when he deals combat damage, you untap all your lands, and then you get an additional combat where you can attack only with land creatures. I want you to think about this. There's a card from Kamigawa that's a 5 mana, make 2/4/5 tramples, but it was quadruple green to cast it for 5, and that card was excellent because of how much stats you got out of it. That is Boomy, but even better. Aang's Journey's been great. Search your library for a basic land. If it was kicked, you instead put a basic land and a shrine, and then you gain 2 life. Problem is we have no shrines, and there's a red-green tap land for us that I really want to play, so I'm going to play it. We also have like Freedom Fighters, which is pretty good. Foggy Swamp, Vinebender, I was not super impressed with personally. Nothing else really for us here. The Sandbender Scavengers is good, but totally not what we're doing. So we're going to take the dual land and be happy about it. This is like the third Cabbage Merchant we've seen, which is pretty funny. We can also take a second Boomy's Bash. Yeah, making land creatures is now super relevant. I might be splashing for Visdaili Agents with my double Harrow. I'm gonna take the Cabbage Merchant. It's an early play. No, I'm gonna take Boomy's Bash. It's just not even worth it. I'm just taking the removal spell. If we remove threats, we're gonna be fine. When this enters, or enters untapped if you control a basic land, and then target creature gains Firebending 4 for essentially 3 mana. Pretty strong. I think Toph is better though. We don't have a Toph yet, which one of the biggest downsides to her is that she's legendary. So getting the 1 is pretty good, and she can be pretty huge in our deck. So I'm going to take her pretty happily. And here we have absolutely nothing. So I'm going to do the thing I do for completing sets. So, this is a free-to-play draft. So one of the things that's super important is completing the set. And an easy way to help with that is when you have these picks where none of the cards matter, taking the highest rarity thing that you're the least likely to pick naturally helps you complete your set faster. So I think the white double board clear is better. So I'm going to take the not of that. I'm going to take the other uncommon. I don't think I'm playing this Jet's Brainwashing. I could take a red Swamp Cycler or another Earth Ruthians. I think our mana's pretty great. I would rather play the early play that Earth Bends. I'm going to take it. I think we're going to be cutting cards here. I think the Rough Rhino Cavalry is fine, as is How to Start a Riot. I'm going to take Hama for the same reason I took the other one of helping complete the set. I'm already thinking about completing the set, right? Like, that's one of the things. Taking another uncommon here for the same reason. We're not playing any of these cards. Captives is fine, but I'm going to take another uncommon here instead because I'm not playing the Captives. We're already cutting good cards. Do Lee, same reason. Or Joe D. Do Lee. And then here, it doesn't really matter, but this card's way worse, so I'm going to take it so I can get 4 of it faster. And then, of course, we take whatever our last pick is. Okay, so one of the things we're looking to do is to complete the set. And to complete the set, you need 4 of every card. One of the ways you can maximize that is by thinking about what cards you don't already have 4 of or that are going to be less likely for you to get 4 of. We're not playing this Ember Island production, of course. Diley Agents, we have... I'm going to run at least one more or one of these dual lands. I think running 2 dual lands is a little much given how much we want to be playing untapped sources. So I think 1 swamp, 1 dual land, a cycler, and then 2 cycle of renewals to go get our swamp for our 5-drop is more than enough. We also have Earth King to go get a basic land when a creature of power 4 or greater attacks. This is very close to a complete deck. I actually think I need to cut a card because I'm going to cut a land here. I think we're playing 16 lands for sure, and green gets us every other color. So by cutting green, or by cutting red, we're kind of safe with that. So we have 1 cut to make. Usually this is a little easier, but with it being a newer set, I'm gonna take a moment and just make sure. This is a very strong deck. It's actually really hard to cut a card here. Um, could be abandoned attachments, although it helps us kind of cycle through and filter through our lands. Instant speed as well, and red triggers all of our things. Could be one of the ruffians. I already have one. We don't really have ways to sack it, so if our opponent just doesn't kill it, it doesn't Earthbend. I like that. All right, there's our deck. 16 lands, one black source, or one black swamp, and then a black source off of the dual land for our Daily Agent, since we have so many ways to go get lands. And Bumi is our big bomb. Third pick of pack 3. We are already in the deck. Definitely we're in the right lane. Let's go crush some people with Bumi. All right, our first game of the Bronze to Mythic run. Of course, it's against another bronze player. We have removal. We have ramp. We have some of our rares. Our rare. Yeah, we're keeping this. We're on the play too. I'm going to lead on mountain. I want them to be suspicious of instant speed red plays. There's a good number of things to play around in this format, so leading on red is generally better. Here I'm going to play my Mandork. They played green, which is kind of exactly what I want to see. Oh, they got something going on over there. 2 green. Every land you control is every color. Do I care? So here's the play. I don't really care about this. I play Iroh. Iroh makes my lessons cost 1 less. Raucous Audience now taps for 2 green because I have Iroh. So I can actually do this at instant speed. So I'm not going to attack. And we're just going to hold up Cycle of Renewal. And the next turn we're going to absolutely pop off after going and getting our lands. Bender's Waterskin. You got it. So they still have 2 mana here. And this will untap next turn. Or on my turn, pass. Attack? Yeah, I'm not blocking. Do your worst. Are we pumping it? Sure. +2/+2 and untap it. You get in for 4. I'm gonna just sack a forest here. And we're gonna go get Mountain Swamp for our 1 black card eventually. That seems incredibly efficient, doesn't it? I feel like I gotta do the Earth King though, and get in my attack right away. And we can also, yeah, so we do the Earth King like this. Unfortunately, this is a sorcery, so I can't use Iroh's Firebending 1 on it. Seems like they have some form of an instant. So we're going to blow this up now while we have the cost reduction. Doesn't really matter for us, but do your worst. Fatal Fissure, when it dies, Earthbend 4. Unfortunately, Earthbend does not untap the creature. So I do get to get in for my ramp. Go get a tapped land. That land this time will now be a forest. We do have double green creatures, and Raucous Audience taps for green, but not forever if it dies. We have Jong now for doubling a lesson. We didn't really have a second target anyway for Iroh's demonstration, but we have plenty of lessons in our deck. Earthbend 2. You can put it on the swamp you already have. Nope, we want to do it on the tap 2/2. You got it. And then we're going to Bumi's Bash next turn, just certainly. Twin Blades. Alright, tap this for double. I'm actually going to destroy target land creature instead of doing damage in case they have something that can pump it. You can't pump out of just the destroy effect. They have 2 mana up, so we're not really sure what they're doing. There's some form of like a black-green mid-rangey, control-y, something or other. And I'm just going to swing with the full team. I have Twin Blades, so if they block the Earth King, I get to put the Lizard Blades on it. And we'll go get a Forest and a Mountain. We're just ramping and thinning our deck. If they do no blocks, they're in trouble. 6. So I can do 12 to them, but I think protecting Iroh is just better. Just keep the pressure up. Bing. And then hit him for 6. And we're basically threatening lethal next turn. We have 13 damage on board. There are a plethora of board clears in this set, especially in double black. I actually had 2 in my pre-release. There's Day of the Black Sun and the Rise of Sozin. Or not Sozin. Rise of, or maybe it's Rise of Sozin. The Black Mythic Saga, where the first chapter is Destroy All Creatures. So, 2 pretty big board clears to watch out for. I'm going to make them have it, basically, here. I mean, they're chump blocking with the 2-2. Oh, they're saying good game. And that's game 1. We advance. As you can see, we got 2 steps. All right, game 2. We have Cycle of Renewal and a Surveil land. I'm going to keep this, even though we don't have red. We have Sabertooth. We're looking for a red land here. I don't want a second Sabertooth. Thank you. Worst case scenario, we just cycle on turn 2. We Cycle of Renewal. We're just going to ramp out. We want to see a little bit more of a passive start from them. We draw a mountain, I'm just slamming Firebending Student because with Prowess it can get pretty crazy pretty fast. First time flyer, that's pretty slow and chill. I'm just gonna cycle. Forest Cycle is why we take these so highly. 3 color, double first time flyer. Alright, that's a pretty quick clock, assuming they get a lesson in the graveyard. I don't have one yet, but I don't want to mess around. Alright. I think I'm actually going to do this. Interesting. Doesn't have reach. Could play Firebending Student. I'm sure they just remove it. I'm tempted to just Cycle of Renewal away of a Rumble Arena. And then next turn have it all. There's also argument that we could just play Firebending Student. If they don't remove it, we use Firebending to play out a whole bunch of things next turn. I am just going to essentially... I'm just going to Cycle Renewal now. I don't want to play into the Ilquentia, and I actually am not going to go get the swamp here. We have our fixing land anyway, but the reason I'm not going to do it is that we actually need our mana sources, because the other option was to sack Rumble Arena into a swamp. I would rather not do that with the fact that I have Earth Bending in our hand. Or casting Fortune Teller. So yeah, they're all in on like the allies, blue-white flyer kind of thing. They really want to get a lesson in the graveyard here. I don't think I'm just going to let them do that, though. I'm going to play Firebending Student and Toph. And we're going to make Rumble Arena because it has Vigilance, the thing that we airbend, or earthbend. And then next turn, we can kind of pop off. Yeah, getting a lesson in the graveyard's big for them, but we now have removal spells for these first-time flyers. So if they're spending their whole turn doing basically like a 4-mana lesson to remove one of these things, get him for 2 in the air twice for 4, and then we just counter back. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing like airbend target thing and draw a card lesson. Cow. That's a flyer. A lot of flyers happening over here. Oh my goodness. Oh, what do we do with the last Agni Kai? So we have Prowess. Okay. With the last Agni Kai, we can kind of go crazy, I think, and just play everything in our hand. She's not an... Yeah, she's not an ally. So this costs 2, and it's an instant. Firebending X, where X is its power. And we play Mai on the second. Okay, so I was calculating it out. So step 1 is we Bumi Bash, damage equal to the number to the cow. Yep. And then we last Agni Kai from the Firebending student to one of the first time flyers. And then we attack with everything. We don't lose this red. And we get to play Mai. I don't have quite enough to put a double strike counter on her. That's okay. We basically spent 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana this turn off of 5 mana. And removed 2 things. 2 flyers. And we still have a removal spell in hand. That's gotta die. Yeah, you airbend the... Oh, give it flying? You're crazy. Oh, we drew a swamp. That's actually pretty good. Okay, allies at last. This is a 2-part bite spell, so I get to choose 2 creatures, and they both deal their damage. I'm going to choose the 2 things with prowess, because why not? Casting this spell gives them both +1/+1. Bing, bing. We give my double strike counter, and we're just getting in. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, we're all in. They could have Airbender's Wrath or Avatar's Wrath and airbend everything, but the thing with airbending everything is kind of irrelevant, right? Like, I have creatures I'm happy to replay. They do things when they re-enter. That's pretty great. Let's just go to combat. They block a 2/2, and they take 3 more. And then we just, oh, main phase. Yeah, I do not want to firebend that. I would like to play a 7/7 with reach to block your flyer, and also put the heat on, right? It's a 7/7. So now if you have a removal spell, you have to use it on that. Looking pretty good. -5, -3. Sure, still has reach. I'm still going to attack with it. I actually have a prowess trigger this time as well for firebending student. For 1 more damage if I want it. I probably will. Oh yeah, now we definitely do it. Cycle of Renewal. I sack this forest. Oh, we countering it? Octopus form. Oh, sure. You can do that. Alright, they trade up on 1. We go get 2 lands out of our deck. As you can see, we're running out of lands in our deck. Oh, they just die. I wasn't even looking at that. Yeah. Alright, game 2. Octopus form did not save them. We've already made it to bronze tier 1 off of the bonus steps that we get for ranking up. Going undefeated. Alright. 2-0 to start. Not bad. That's what we want to see. Remember, losses right now don't hurt us. If we go 7-2, it's the same as going 7-0. I want to go 7-0 because it's fun. That's what I would like to do. No red source and no way to go get it. Can't play allies at last. We're on the draw. This is a mulligan. Cycle of Renewal if we hit a land. Wow, this is rough. We're putting Daily Agents back for sure. We just have to hit a land here. This could be our variance game. Happens to the best of us. Saw two not great hands. Hey, abandoned attachments is particularly great because it means, or mountain is particularly great because it means we can play abandoned attachments. That card's annoying. It's an instant. Awesome. So we're gonna play abandoned attachments. Discard a forest here. Yeah, so it's a 2-mana 2/1 vigilance, and it gets a 1/1 counter every time you cast your second card. You draw your second card, and when it dies, you make a clue. Corrupt Court Official. In response, I want to see what I'm working with. Know if I need to discard a land or what. Yeah, I'm gonna discard a land still. Not too worried about everything that's going on down there. Jong Jong. I play Iroh. We're not blocking the Knowledge Seeker if they attack with it. Even if they draw a second card this turn. It's more likely they just kill it. Search your library for a basic. Forest. We got a little 3-color madness. Blue, black, green. This looks like a Zula Always Lies. 1/1 counter on something, -1/-1 to something. They get to put a 1/1 counter on Knowledge Seeker, and then -1/-1 my guy, and then these trade. So this is a no blocks. I want nothing to do with that. Iroh's Demonstration is a sorcery. Firebending lets me do this for 1, essentially, because of the also reduced cost. Here, we can do the last Agni Kai, but once again, that plays into Azula Always Lies. I'm going to attempt to do 1 damage to each creature they control. And if they want to do Azula Always Lies, they can only save 1, and I just know they have it, so I'm not worried about losing Iroh to it. Yep, there's Azula Always Lies. We knew that was what was coming. Kills off the 1/1. I don't really want to give them a clue, and Iroh's doing great for us, so I'm just going to chill. I'm going to sit on this Cycle of Renewal. Actually, against counter magic, I just want to cast this. And we're going to sack a forest, and we're just going to go get Forest Mountain, funny enough. I want to be able to cast my spells. I'm not too worried about anything going on over here. We have a Bumi's Mash, the last Agni Kai, and Jong Jong to kind of hold the fort. And I will now trade off Iroh, as Azula Always Lies number 2 doesn't fix it. The Earth King. Oh, imagine if we had a land here. Well, I'm just going to Bumi's Bash, destroy, or deal 4 damage to the bear. 2/2 is just a 2/2 now, unless they have another 4-power creature, and we can always last Agni Kai it. We have like Jong Jong as well. Oh my goodness. I think I have to keep Bumi. It's just a 2/2. It's a pretty long clock. Obviously that might be wrong, but that's why we kept Bumi. Show them why. I would like a 4/4 and a 5/4. So they have to kill Bumi or they're just going to lose. Or play a really big thing here. They could have like the Island Cycler. It's a 5/7 that gives itself unblockable. That would be pretty problematic for me. But more likely than not, Bumi's just going to die, and he leaves a 4/4 behind. Exile target creature. Sure. I'm actually pretty low on life, so I'm going to just hang out. 2/2 blocks a 4/4. The Lion Turtle, 3/6 vigilance, can't attack or block unless you control unless there's 3 more lessons, and they have exactly 3 lessons. Brutal. Well, we knew we were drawing Lizard Blades. We're blocking now. Of course, hanging out. Doesn't trigger Earth King. Super relevant. It's not strong. It's not high enough power. Oh, they got something here. Cycling. Oh, I guess they're short. No, they could cast it. This taps for 1 mana of any color, and they have a forest. So you attack, and then you can... Yeah, that's kind of crazy to not attack with it. I will block. Probably bouncing. Ah. I will put it on the bottom. That is brutal against V. If they were doing that, why didn't they attack with the Earth King? Yeah, I don't think we're winning this one. They've had kind of all the answers here. Weird play, though, cycling for the forest when they could have just played the 7/7. Oh, hey, there's our Earth King. That's pretty good here. All right, let's see what we're working with. We have Twin Blades as well for next turn to protect ourselves. It could just be sacking Serpent's Pass. I wouldn't mind that. Oh, our Twin Blades. Sure. If you attack with the Lion Turtle, I'm double blocking it. Okay, we're just sacking the Serpent's Pass now. Works for me. Just playing out my cards. I would not like to trade my 4/4 for a 1/1 because they can double block with the 3/6 and a 1/1, and then I can only kill the 1/1. Oh my, 6/6 make a food. Yeah, they're just hitting all these land cyclers now in the late game. It's pretty good. Bumi's Bash deals 5 right now. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Probably gonna have to trade. Yeah, can't kill anything. So, yeah, they get to attack the food. That doesn't really matter. Alright, let's see what we can do here. They're hitting lands. Oh, all out swing? Seems aggressive. You can go get another land, sure. It's just when it enters. I guess I'll keep the Earth King. They have a removal spell here. It's a blowout anyway. It doesn't matter. Swamp means that we actually can deal 6 damage to the Lion Turtle. And we're holding up 2 mana for Il Quentia. No attacks. If they attack with the Earth King, we trade. And then they get to start attacking with the 1/1, but they're at 28 life. We have a long game to play ahead of us here. We're going to hold on to this. We've already played Abandoned Attachments, but they don't know that. We don't have something here. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a 1/1 counter on it. Yeah. It's a 3/3 right off the bat. Pretty good. I don't know what we need, but we've already drawn a lot of the powerful things in our deck. That is not one of them. We're going to continue holding on to the land in case they have another corrupt court official. But on Molda 6 with double court official, we've gotten pretty posed. And then, whoa, yep, that'll do it. Nothing we can draw through that. When it enters attacks, exile a card. If it was a creature, you make a clue. They have the thing that whenever you sack, it gets a 1/1 counter. So we're actually just dead on board. All right. First loss of the set. Had to happen. Doesn't hurt us. It just hurts our win rate and our ego. That's okay. All right. Game 4. I have a curve. I have a surveil land or scry land on turn 1. I'm going first. They're mulliganing. What is this? The turtle? Cool. I like my fish. Alright, here we go. Scry land on turn 1 seems pretty good. Iroh's demonstration's fantastic. And probably not cycling the Sabertooth on turn 2 here. Probably keeping it for later game ideas. Raucous audience. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with just keeping it and playing it on turn 6. I could kill this 2/1 that ramps. I'm actually of preference of playing Ruffians because if they play another 1 power creature, Iroh 2-for-1s them with Iroh's Demonstration. And they seem like a tokeny deck now. Green-white is the allies deck. Makes a lot of 1/1s. That is not a thing that makes 1/1s, but it is pretty good. Decisions. I think here I play Earth Kingdom General and I just Earthbend. And it's each turn, so we're going to put this on Rumble and Arena. But now if they attack and we block with the Ruffians, we gain another 2 life, which is pretty cool. So we're Earthbending it out. Let's see what they want to do here. I assume they're going to play some allies, given this start. They need a 4-power creature, though, to trigger... Ooh. Well, that makes it a 4-power creature. That's pretty good here. Pretty good. This card's very strong, but on its own, it's not too crazy. What the? Create a 1/1, then attach this equipment to it. Well, White Rose Lotus Reinforcements kind of messes us up here a little bit. But we have plenty of removal spells. We're just going to need to get to removal for this. I think we got to deal 4 to the White Lotus Reinforcements. It just gets too big too fast. And then hold up Cycle of Renewal for next turn. Deal 4 damage to the target creature. It's just too much value right now. And then next, no attacks, and turn. And we're going to Cycle of Renewal. We could block with Rumble and Arena and then cycle it. And then sacrifice it to the Cycle of Renewal if we need to. It gives us back the Arena, actually, as a Surveiller. That might be the move. Oh. If they're going to do this, I'm just going to double block. I totally want to get this Avatar Enthusiast off the board. Pillar Launch makes it a 6/6. That seems fair. I shall do this, sacrificing Rumble Arena then. I will go get our Swamp now, and with our double green card in hand, I will go get another Forest. And then this enters and I scry 1. Hey, Daily Agents. That's a card we want to play. And I get to Earthbend 2. We'll put it on the Rumble Arena. Crazy. I will gain 2 life, please. Funny enough, I actually don't think I play the Daily Agents this turn. I think I play Umashu City, and I just play the 7/7. Because it's a 7/7. And it blocks this Avatar Enthusiast very well. They have another combat trick spell. They have plenty of mana. Well, that's Bumi. That's a Bumi. Kind of want to make Rumble Arena just a 6/6 this turn. Seems crazy. And then get 4 more life. Back with a Vigilant 6/6 and a 7/7 and make them make decisions. Nothing has trample, but it doesn't really need to have trample. And white's board clear is an airbend everything, and if we're airbending everything, that does not work well against like Bumi. So, oh my goodness. Can we do it all? Yeah, we can. So I play Daily Agents. And I would like to Earthbend 1, Earthbend 1. Ding ding. I will gain 1 life. And then I'm going to attack with Bumi, the 7/7, and Rumble Arena. I Earthbended this so that I can sack it and have it come back to draw a card. And then we're going to put a double strike on the Trampling Bumi. Auto pay. And they are so dead. Because land creatures get to attack a second time now. Actually, does this trigger again on Bumi with double strike? Wow, I would have gotten 2 more combats. That's crazy. Bumi's nuts. What a silly card. 5 mana, 5/4 trample, make a 4/4 win the game. Why not? Just have it have every keyword that says win the game. Yeah, Bumi's strong. Man, this set is fun. This looks very keepable to me on the draw. Surveil land, abandon attachments if we see what we don't. If we don't see what we like. Would love to see a 2-drop. That's another land. No, thank you. 3 lands is plenty when I have Cycle of Renewal. That's Iroh. Oh, I didn't play that right. That's okay, I wasn't abandoning attachments here anyway. Because we're definitely just playing Iroh and seeing what's up. Iroh makes everything cost 1 less next turn. So assuming he lives, which he may not. Second Messenger Hawk, oh my. And a single blue, Citizen's Arrest. Bounce it and draw. Make it a 3/2. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna do a whole bunch this turn. We're gonna start by attacking with Iroh, and then using the red he makes to have these 2 things fight. Next. And then I can Cycle of Renewal. I'm actually going to do this now, because I do not want the spell to get counterspelled. And we're going to once again go get green-red so we can cast our spells. We already have the land that filters, so if we draw the black card, we will be okay. We can also always discard it to abandon attachments. Zuko's Exile. Give me a treasure. Or not treasure, a clue. Don't mind if I do. Take action. Give me 2 life. Alright. We are rebuilding. Oh, this card's gotta die. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, make a clue. That's crazy. And they're holding up. Sack a clue. This is a clue. I can try and just Iroh's Demonstration it right away. I kind of like that. We just try and kill this right away. If they have a protection spell, we have Twin Blades. Okay, so then I'm going to crack a clue this turn. And I'm actually going to tap Rumble Arena and green so that I can draw a... tapped land's fine, I guess. It's also a black source. And then next turn we're just going to slam a Bumi. Because it's Bumi. Rowdy Snowballers, tap and it doesn't untap. Should do that to my land. Absolutely, yep. Alright, well you're tapped out, so here's Bumi. This one. Take action. No, I want my Earth Kingdom General. I have more ways to Earthbend, and the life is quite nice. I also wouldn't mind them airbending it. A lot of flyers on their side of the board. The rest of the game, Messenger Hawk is basically a 3/2. Because they can always sack a clue to it. Doesn't get bigger than that, though. Yeah, it's just once. It's if you've drawn 2 cards, it's a 3/2. You're letting me hit you with Bumi. I think that means you die. Yeah, I think you're super dead. I attack with everything. We have twin blades, so whatever they block isn't dying. They could go like 2/2 on the 2/2, and then they just die to this, because 9, and then I untap the 4/4 and I attack again for 13. They can't double block Boomy and have it not trigger. Okay. You just die. Okay. We did the math. Yeah. I was the beatdown. And we're already silver. We're flying through the ranks. I actually think numbers-wise, it's giving me extra on the steps for bronze. I'm not really sure why, but we're moving through it. Maybe our math was a little bit off on how many games it would take us to move from bronze to silver, but we're already there, and we've only won 4 games, which should only be 8 steps. So we should be bronze 2 right now, but we're silver. So we're actually gaining double the amount of steps that I initially thought we would. Maybe they changed that. Maybe it's our MMR. I don't know, I've been Mythic before, so maybe they're looking at it and they're like, hey, this person shouldn't be in bronze. They'd be right. All right. Tapped land into Cycle of Renewal. This seems great. We have all of our mana sources. Say hello. Let's get this bread. As the chef. With the cookie sleeves. And the fish. We're having fun here. We're having fun here. Alright, I play my. My oh my. Creature of the Great Divide. You got it. Put double strike counter on you, but we're definitely not doing that. We're just gonna sack a land and Cycle of Renewal. You get 1 turn with the Great Divide Guide. Pretty good 2-drop when you play Forest, Forest, Forest. I really don't care about that. I'm gonna sack this mountain and turn it into forest swamp, because we actually do have our swamp here. Oh man. That doesn't help us here, does it? So I can cycle, forest cycle, because we didn't draw land. Play the forest. I don't even know. Just Boomy Bash, the Foggy Swamp. I just don't really care about this Foggy Swamp vendor. I do care about hitting my lands, but I think I just want to get the Earth King down. And just pass. So when we can go get lands that way. Another forest? Are they just mono green? It could be. Great Divide Guy is just a mana dork then. 2 mana, 2/3 mana dork, which is pretty great. We have the last Agni Kai as well to kind of burn through. They have removal. Oh, we're sacking a forest for 2 more forests? 2 more forests. We're mono green. I respect it. All right. We're holding up green, green. Huh? Well then. If we're going to hold up green, green, I'm going to attack with my 4/4 and go get a basic land, please. He goes on the battlefield tapped, very unfortunately. It is going to be a mountain. Next. No blocks. That's crazy. In that case, I'm going to hold up the last Agni Kai and just putting a double strike counter on May. Because the double strike counter is permanent, so I can just do that on their end step, and then now it's a 2 mana 1/3 double strike prowess, which is going to win games pretty quickly when you have this much cards in hand. Earthbend 2, and then fight target creature an opponent controls. Sure. 2/3 into the 2/2. So we can last Agni Kai in response to kill the 2/3, and then the fight doesn't work. See what they got. Let's try to burn them out of their options here. And now we're going to Forest Cycle for sure. Okay, so then they fight in response, or bite in response. All right, we're going to be going pretty low here on our board. So they had the answer. So we end up with Mai, and they end up with the rest of their board still, but we've burned them out of spells. And then we're just going to resolve a Daily Agents and start doing that. Because the problem is, their board's not very big. Daily Agents. I think this should be a creature. I think this should be a creature. No attacks with my 1/3. Daily now, when it attacks, I drain for 2. Oops, sorry. Oh no, a 5/4. Reminder, I am at full health. I just did that, just right away. Okay, Twin Blades looks pretty good here. None of these have Vigilance though, so we have to be careful. But I could Bumi's Bash. Oh no, we're going to be 1 mana short. We have 6 mana total, so if I Bumi's Bash, I can only Raucous Audience. I think I just attack with the Daily Agents and see what's up. Gain 2, they lose 2. They can only put a 1/1 counter on this on their turn. Yep. Oh, we're double blocking. That's cute. Daily Agents. Go to damage. I kill the Foggy Swamp. And then I also kill the 2/2. It goes back to being a forest for you. Go ahead. And then with our 3 remaining mana, I'll just play Zhang. We don't have a lesson, but who cares? They don't know that. Also, it's just the most efficient use of our mana. Yep. Twin Blades, kind of a blowout. As we march through and into silver. Pretty good first draft we have here. Remember, we spent 10,000 gold. At this point, we've already turned it into 1,600 gems, which by my math is a profit. So we're already up 100 gems. Our goal, of course, 7 wins or bust. I want, especially while I'm lower rank and I'm fighting, in theory, easier opponents, really trying to build up some gems so that we can go the distance later on in this run. Tapped land into Earth Village Ruffians seems pretty good. Once again, Mai is unfortunately not an ally. But that's okay. Still gonna play her out here. None of these are lessons, so Zhang doesn't look too enticing either. Oh, that's a Bumi. Hi, Bumi. I go for 1. I'll play a 3/1. Seems the most aggressive. They want to kill it. I get a 2/2 out of it too. Now we don't have any of our ways to go get mana. We don't have any of our forest cyclers, but we have 2 copies of the Sacco land to get 2 lands. What the heck? They just discarded the hand size? What hand did you keep? Okay. Well, all the board clears are too expensive for me to care about. The X board Clear is double black and X. Yeah, you kept a hand you should not have, I guess, on the play. Two-lander, in theory. All right, we're moving through silver. And here's our final. We are 6-1, trying to go 7-1 in our first draft. Remember that 70% win rate we were talking about? We're well past that right now. For context, by the way, going 6-3 is a 67% win rate. So anything better than 6 wins is automatically a 70% win rate. That's why having a 70% win rate at any point is just absurd. Because even if you go, 7-0, it only takes 1, 3, and 3, and now you're 10-3. And 10-3 is not even a 70% win rate. I don't think. Something like that. All right, let's see what we're rolling with here. Final game. Abandon attachments into stuff and things on the draw. I like it. Wouldn't mind drawing one of our tapped lands here, or of a surveil land, but 2 tapped lands and a surveil land we'd be pretty happy to see. Would love a real 2-drop. Merchant of Many Hats. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Sure. We're holding up abandoned attachments. I really don't know what I would discard though here. Merchant of Many Hats. I mean, I really want to hit my 4th land. Next turn we play Iroh. I think I'm actually going to discard this 3-drop. I'm playing Iroh next turn almost certainly, and we just want to hit lands. Yep, there we go. So Iroh into the Earth King is the uncommon to rare combo because Iroh has 4 power, so he immediately triggers the Earth King. We also have double Rocky Rebuke, which is just amazing with Iroh. I'm not blocking here at all, but we do want to be cognizant of our health total. I assume they want to block Iroh. Yep, cool. Well, if that's their play, Iroh's demonstration it costs 1 red. So in this turn, assuming we attack, we have 5 mana to work with. So we can Rocky Rebuke the Merchant of Many Hats, Iroh's demonstration, the Messenger Hawk, and Cycle of Renewal all this turn. I think that's pretty good. So we're going to deal 4 damage here. Off the 1 red. Attack. And then off of the Firebending, sack the forest we tapped to go get Mountain Swamp. They don't block unless they really want the clue. And now we're holding up Rocky Rebuke to kill the Messenger Hawk. It's an instant, and we have 2 green left over. And then next turn we Earth King. Wow, they just called it. That's a 7-win start. Now, to be fair, we're down in bronze and silver, which, it's the first day of the set. We got a lot going in our favor here. But that's exactly what we want to see. Super important note. We are not opening the packs that we got. We're working towards completing the set. If you haven't watched my video about being free to play and what that entails and how to maximize your golden gems, one of the things for a new set you should do is try to complete the set incredibly efficiently. And the best way to do that is to save your packs till you're at a point where you can finish one of the rarities of the set, hopefully, by opening all the packs. Because finishing the rarities of the set increases your vault. Increasing your vault makes it so that you can fill in the rest of the rares and mythics. Filling in the rares and mythics means you get gems when you open them or draft them. And all that feeds together. So all these packs that we just won, these 6 packs, we are not going to open, nor did we open the 3 packs that we originally got, or the one we just won for completing quests and moving through. But that's a profit right off the bat. You can see we have 11 packs. We're going to hold on to those. I'll see you on the next one.